James' last name is a bitch.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host,
Eric Albright is a bitch.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that.
It's a little bit weird. You're gonna blame me
A lot
for making
of
a bad
things
business deal.
happened
You pretend to run.
this week.
Yeah, man. A lot of things have happened this week.
I do have just, let's just start out like strong. Let's just start.
I forgot to make a list this week, but I remember stuff.
I have two things on my list, but they're not super like important, I guess.
Two things
But anyway,
to get tilted at the tower. I didn't play the game.
Let's start with the first thing I got on my list. Palworld. Have you heard of it?
At Palworld, yes.
New game.
My chat has been asking me if I'm going to play it.
They've been asking if you're going to play
yeah,
it?
they've been genuinely asked. They've been going like, "Are you going to play Palworld?" Hey man, have you heard about Palworld? Palworld came out.
When's Palworld?
I'm like, I don't fucking care. No.
Pal, hey buddy, hey pal, when are you gonna play it? Well, James, I'm playing it. I have played it, and it's
I know. I see that
fun.
You're streaming it. I just can't watch it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's great. It's pretty fun.
Funny. It's a joke. Laugh.
Yeah, I've been liking it, but it's been going under fire recently. Do you know why?
AI.
I wanted to have this conversation with you because you're an artist, right?
I'm glad you
would say you are the art guy, right?
I'd say I'm an art.
Yeah.
I call myself artistic.
Yeah. So,
but the way that people say it, they mean it negatively.
A couple things about it. Okay, for people who are going to take the definition of art seriously or not terminally online. A couple things.
Hey.
First of all, it's controversial because it's copying Pokemon, right?
Right.
Second of all, it's claimed to have used AI to design this stuff.
Because the designs look like what you would ask an AI to interpret like all the Pokemon as if you were to remake them. Let me
clear up some things, at least from what I've heard about it, because I did look at some I did hear a lot of the news guys I listened to also talked about it. Number one,
you also listen to Bernie Burns, the former owner of Rooster Teeth?
No. Anyway, the first thing, design similar to Pokemon. I agree with that. I think some of them are really close, so close.
You're telling me the one that looks like
it's kind of a little bit
looks like Pikachu?
It's actually not the Pikachu one. I think the Pikachu one is different enough. There's a couple other ones that are really similar.
The Pikachu one, literally, from how I remember it looking, it looks like how fucking Aaron from Game Grumps drew it in his like that one Pokemon video that he animated. Like that's what that Pikachu looks like to me.
At least I think you're talking about the same Pikachu looking one I'm thinking you're talking about.
I haven't played the game. I haven't looked too into it. I've just seen like a couple of like pictures of it. Yeah. So I've got like a vague idea. Okay.
So first of all, there are some designs that I think are too similar and they should probably change those. But I think they look similar, but I guess it's up to court, or if Nintendo is going to bring them to court and sue them over these things. Either case, I don't really care that much since, that's their thing that they have to deal with. Anyway, though, I think the Eevee looking one, they have like a fox kind of Pal, not Pokemon, and it looks really similar to Eevee. I think that one looks a bit too similar.
I think about that one.
There's a dinosaur one, like a plant dinosaur one with a long neck, and I think that looks a bit too similar to a Pokemon.
Charizard or something.
The wolf looks pretty similar, but it kind of also just looks like a wolf, and the Pokemon is a wolf too. So I don't know if that's just designed similar or they're just both based off a cartoonish looking wolf. Therefore, it kind of looks similar, but I think that looks similar too. But the other Pokemon designs, I think, or the other PAL designs are like, I think they're different enough that I wouldn't, have too much trouble with it. The penguin is a bit too similar. The small penguin. Yeah.
I that's like the last like time I ever watched Pokemon like regularly was when that penguin was the new Pokemon.
Yeah. So
that was like what, like the third wave or something of Pokemon?
Yeah. So in terms of designs, I think those ones are a bit too similar. They probably should change those. But I'm pretty sure Nintendo's like either they're drawing up the lawsuit like right now.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna do it like pretty soon, because I know that Nintendo's pretty litigious and they like taking anything that resembles Pokemon or is Pokemon to court, including like mods and stuff. Did you know the
I
what was it? Pixelmon mod for Minecraft that was taken down
Yeah,
a while
yeah,
ago?
I've heard
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, that was taken down. Like although it was free. It was free, didn't make any money, right? They took that down because it was Pokemon,
It's like
right?
how Marvel like was threatening to sue the that parent into like fucking horrid like fucking like they were like threatening to like literally take away every like penny that he has because he wanted to put Spider-Man on his son's fucking grave.
I haven't heard of that, but I'll just
Yo,
trust
you
you on that one.
haven't? That one's
No,
insane.
I've never
That's
heard
what
of that.
Marvel they were like, no, you don't get to put Spider-Man on your son's grave, and if you attempt it, we'll sue you. We'll sue you so bad that your children will know poverty.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
That your
There's
children's children's
a lot
children.
of big companies that own really big IPs just love to do that kind of thing. Like Rockstar with their GTA's like mods and stuff. They don't like that.
Like
You know,
us, whenever somebody
Like
uses our
us,
likenesses.
whenever, or I guess you, whenever someone draws a transformer and a FNAF animatronic combined, you're just like, no, 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 that was my idea.
um, Actually, this is
You
my
can go
original
see it on
creation, and
James's Twitch.
you've been sued.
James
You've
no
been
last name.
sued.
You've
Actually,
been
it's just
sued.
no underscore last underscore name
Oh, right.
underscore on
My
Twitch,
bad.
not the French one with the more followers.
My bad. You're right. You're right. There's a link in the description if you want to go see it. Anyway, yeah. So
My
in terms of
TikTok's also down
designs,
there.
I think it is similar. I mean, they have basically the same art style, but I'm not really a stickler for like same art styles. I think you can have like the same art style for a lot of it as long
Art
as it's
steal,
not
was that a slip
too
of the tongue, JD?
as long as
Was
it's
that
not
was
too
that your
unique.
brain lapsing as you decided to tell the truth?
The truth is, I don't really care as long as it's a cool game to play. I like playing it, so I hope it doesn't get taken down. But
Dude, that's straight up like Mewtwo. One of them is just straight up Mewtwo.
is it? I haven't
it
seen that
lo-
one then
it
yet.
looks like Mewtwo mixed with one of the other. This is why I'm convinced about the whole AI thing is because they do straight up look like the like one of them. Okay, so I'm slowly remembering
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon names. Grengar or something like that. Grengar or something. It's this
Rengar is
big
probably what it is.
Gringar, whatever. It's the one. It's the one that they were putting on the like the pictures the most. The Pikachu looking
Mhm.
one, the big fluffy one. That's that Phantom Pokemon, but with Pikachu colors on it. Like that's exactly what that looks like.
Maybe I don't know which one you're talking about. I don't think I've seen it yet. But
Grengar, I think that's the name. Here, I'm gonna look up Ghost
you
Pokemon.
you can look up some images of it and show it to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think the designs are a bit too similar. Some of
Oh,
them.
what's his name?
Other than that,
Oh, he's an
I think
electric
it's
type.
pretty all right. In my opinion, as long as
Gengar.
the designs are different enough, as long as it's not like an exact copy, then
Like it's
it's whatever.
it's definitely not an exact copy, but it straight up does look like if you enlarged him because he's obviously very tiny here, but Gengar it's literally Gengar's like face, but the eyes aren't
Yeah.
red, and he's just Pikachu colored. Like that's
Oh,
exactly
I
what
know
that
who you're
looks
talking
like.
about. It's Grisbold.
Yeah,
It's basically like this really
fuck
big.
off.
It's really this big pal, and he's got
Yeah.
like the same kind of face like that, except
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
similar eyes, the mouth. It's
I
like the
think
body
no,
shape too.
I don't think that's
It's the
close
body. I
enough.
didn't use a good picture of Gengar. I just looked at the only one that had his name on it.
Well, first of all, the eyes have like the same shape ish, but it's still kind of different. The mouth, it's just smiling with teeth.
Here's a good image.
It's smiling with teeth, but I don't know if that's
Like I said, it's like an enlarged version of it. It's like
plus
kind of that.
the entire body shape is different. The ears are
That's a
different.
better
The head
image,
is
but
different.
like the mouth and the eyes. Come on.
I mean, I
It's
think
the
you
general
can.
shape of it with the whole roundness. It's like I said, it's an enlarged version, but it's definitely supposed to be
I
Gengar
think that's a
based.
stretch to say is that it's
Fuck
too
off.
similar.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I do think
I will
so.
die on this hill.
Because first of all, his face takes up like all of his body. The
Yes, I
body
said
shapes
it's
of them
Gengar-like.
are completely different. The body shapes are completely different. The ears are different. It's got a nose.
God, dude! This thing is so broken that I was looking up sheep. I put sheep P, and it was immediately the first result was Palworld. Not even
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I'll have to
That's
say
how
though,
broken
Palworld is like
Palworld
super
is.
big right now. It's like everybody's playing it pretty much.
That sheep one in that same photo is actually so very similar.
I would also say it's different enough. I mean, they're both just
Well,
sheep.
yeah, it's different enough. It's just
It's
like
they're both
I'm talking
sheep,
about, not
but
talking about the
one of
one
them
on the
is
right.
like,
I'm talking about the one on the far left, by the way.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Is that
But the
supposed to be
one on the
side
far,
hook?
oh, I thought you were
Is that
talking
a,
about the one on the right.
no,
Because
it's far left.
the far one, the one on the far left, I mean, they're both just based off sheep, but Palworld's sheep is like, it's what was it, bipedal, so it walks on two legs.
It
But
stands up and
this
walks
sheep is more
towards you.
just like a regular sheep, and it just has four legs.
It just approaches you slowly.
I mean, they both have wool that's white, and then also
Well, his name is
like dark skin.
Mareep, by the way. So get that in your thick skull.
Sorry, my bad. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, you say his name. You repeat his name back to me that I just said to you for the first time.
I've already forgot it.
Mareep.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think they're just based
Call him
off.
Maurice.
They look like they're just based off real animals with the Pokemon like kind of art style. I don't think the Pokemon art style is like super.
I again,
like
so this is what's
unique.
making me think it's AI. Is looking at the Thunderbolt, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
That absolutely looks like if you put Gengar and Pikachu into an AI generator and then you like 3D made a 3D model, whatever came out.
yeah. So like his claws, which one did they get from? Which the Pokemon did they get the claws from? Then
I don't know, JD. When I ask an AI to create a person, why does it have 8 fingers? It just does shit.
okay. I mean, okay. Well, let's stress that second claim then. It's made by AI.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think there's any solid proof that it's AI yet. But
no,
if it was
I
AI,
don't think so either. But it's also odd looking.
I would believe it. I would believe it if they said it was made by AI, though.
Exactly.
But there is no proof of it. The only proof was the CEO that made Palworld. He's pretty. He likes AI, so that's
boy.
like the only kind of lead that we got. Yeah, but if it does came out that they made AI, I mean, whatever. I guess it's just made by
Burn in
AI.
hell. Actually, you know what? Kill yourself.
Yeah, I know you're just angry because Palworld made so much more money than.
Yeah, man, I'm angry about all that money. The money that's
Nintendo
mine.
would be Nintendo would be pretty angry.
Nintendo gonna be like, boys, another fat paycheck.
Yeah, very clearly
All
heavily
your money
inspired by Pokemon, but yeah. Anyway, though, I think those are the two big things. It's not made by AI, proven at this point, but
it's not proven. But if it was, there's a big controversy because they also don't label it as so. Which,
yeah, I mean,
it is,
you're
then
supposed
they need
to be labeled.
label it.
Yeah, on
Steam,
if you
the rules of the Steam store.
Yeah, if you were going to release something that's AI generated, or at least partly made by AI, you have to label it as such when you release it on Steam. So, you know, if it is made by AI and they didn't do it, that's going to be a big problem for Steam on the Steam side. But then also, if it's not made by AI, and also then it's fine, I guess, right? Or I guess I don't know. I don't know if it would be more fine if this was made by AI or not, because the whole design thing is still there, right? The whole copying Pokemon thing.
I would say it would be better if it wasn't, because then it's just, using a similar art style in a sense. Then you can just say that. But if it is AI, then it is worse in my opinion, because again, just get artists to make this stuff. Like,
I mean, they did say that they had their artist designer was like some kid.
But that's okay. But firstly, that's like saying, yeah, the Loki intro wasn't AI generated. We technically animated the images. Whatever. You manipulated an AI generated image. You're still doing AI generation. That's like me saying I drew your AI generated character picture because I corrected a few things on it.
Well, I mean, you technically did draw it because you drew it and then you ran it through a filter and then you fixed whatever the filter put out.
Exactly. That's like saying I drew it from scratch, the whole thing, though. That's like saying I made that. But no, I didn't. I just fixed it, like having the weird issues of not having like eyes or glasses or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
If they did use AI for this, what I would guess how they would use it was they probably use it to make like a general concept of a Pokemon they wanted. Like, oh, I wanted to make a Pikachu, but also kind of big, bear-like, and also with the face of Gengar. I wonder how that look like. They would AI generate an image like that.
Rotund shape of Gengar.
Yeah, they would AI generate an image like that, and like, okay, I see how this would look. And then they have an artist be like, kind of maybe draw like the same kind of body type, but they would add claws and a different ears or and a nose or something, and then they would end up with Griswold. That's probably how I
Yeah.
imagine they would do it.
Yeah, that's how I'm like expecting that to kind of be the case,
I don't
honestly.
think it's like this is like one to one. They just AI generate and immediately just put that into the game.
Yeah, I wanted to make that clear. I don't think it's one to one. I 100%, if it is AI generated, I do think they took the AI generation, then used that to make something. But again,
Yeah.
it's like, again, it's me taking that picture of you and just correcting like certain things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make it okay. Like we did that because we were playing around with AI generation with our own stuff, and we aren't selling a game.
Yeah,
And we aren't
free,
using this commercially. This is a free thing for people to listen to.
Yeah.
We aren't using the AI generated
Well, I mean,
images anymore too.
I mean, I make a decent amount of money from it, but it's whatever.
I mean, JD, I'll sue you into fucking defamation. I'll sue you into fucking
Yeah,
hell.
you sue me over the
contract. Give me my penny.
You sue me over the verbal contract that we had back in 2021. Anyway, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see it. Mm-hmm. I know that a lot of artists have like really big, they're big gripes about the whole AI art generation thing. So.
I would feel better about it if it wasn't straight up stealing people's art, and if people weren't just doing that and then reselling it, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so much better about it if the cases weren't the case, you know?
I've heard both sides of this argument. I'm not really I'm not too invested in it since I'm not an artist and I also don't use AI art, right? So I kind of just been looking at it from the sideline. I've seen both sides of the argument where one side's like AI generated art is basically the same thing as if a human would just copy something too.
Yeah.
And I've also heard the other side where it's like the process is different, where humans can like, they just perceive things differently, right? Every human perceives something differently. So therefore it's not exactly like a copy, whereas the AI you would literally need to feed it like the original copy 1-to-1. It only sees like numbers and stuff. So I've heard both sides. It makes sense to me on some level.
To me, it's very akin to like making a forgery of something and then selling it as if it's that thing kind of thing, you know? I guess. But then like making changes to it to claim it as your own in a sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's a thing where
you could say this is Picasso's Starry Night, but I put the Twin Towers in it, therefore it's not.
Like, I think you could get away with that.
Sure. I mean, that would be funny on a t-shirt. But like,
it would be funny on a t-shirt.
That's the first piece of crapshoot merch.
Yeah.
Picasso
Starry Night, but with the Twin Towers in it. Wow.
It's the year 2000 New York City skyline.
For me, it makes the most sense in my mind, where I picture it as like the process to make the art is different, but the end process kind of looks the same, or it's getting to a point where the AI generated image art is, if someone told you that an art was AI generated, you wouldn't doubt it. Like, that's how good it's getting. It's getting to that point.
I would doubt it.
Because, well, I mean, I sent you that one video, right, of like the GTA 5 cutscene where it is voiced over in Gen Alpha language.
Yeah.
Remember that? If I told you that was like fully AI generated, would you believe me?
I think, did I ask you about that? I was like, is that the real
first
voice
thing you
actors
said,
or is that AI?
The thing you said to me was I'm pretty sure this isn't AI. And then I said to you, yes, it was not AI. It was actually the dudes. Like someone just like managed to.
All right, so I said I don't think those were AI voices. I think they actually got the voice actor to read that because of how weird it sounded. Like it sounded like newer microphones. It didn't sound like the microphones they would have had.
They're using two different microphones in two different setups, right? So of course you could hear like the difference. Anyway, though, I think art is getting to that point. At least from a non-artist, it's hard to tell for me to tell the difference because maybe there's some like details that you can pick out from AI generated art that isn't from regular. What are you doing?
I just want to be an asshole. I'm sorry.
I just remember, like I said, because I was agreeing with you, and then I remembered, damn, I'm on my 100th, and he still keep
Yeah, like
talking.
for
So I
for the
said, that's
Palworld
crazy
designs,
to be an asshole.
like for the Palworld designs, if you told me they were AI generated, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it. But if you told me that they were also just made by a regular dude, like no AI involved at all, I'd also be like, yeah, I could see it. Like if they just were lazy
Well,
and just wanted to copy Pokemon.
I can see it in both cases because I can see how you can get to the conclusion. Because obviously, you're not going to say, well, they're AI generated. If they are, like, some people still won't say it because they're going to be like, well, no, it's like you don't have any of the problems with like the finger things or anything. And it's like, well, yeah,
Mhm.
because somebody corrected it to make it look normal. Like, I can see how you can get there without AI, and I can see how you get there with AI because of the details of these areas. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like AI is what's more probable here. But
Mhm.
if it turns out not to be the case, then I'm not going to be like upset that it didn't turn out to be AI and a person made this. Like,
No, I think you
God,
would. Yeah,
damn,
I know
bitch,
that. I know that
you
you're
really
pretty
live like this
angry.
kind of situation?
You're
No,
angry and salty all the time that you're not right all the
I'll
time.
fucking kill you. I don't give a shit.
And I know that you'll send death threats to certain people because that's just how you are, James.
Diddy, you aren't certain people. You are a person.
I am a part of a certain people.
Hey, now, white people don't count.
uh, so yeah, I mean, for me, it's hard to tell the difference between like an end result of someone who's heavily inspired by a certain art style and then also just an AI generated art based off that art style. For example, I think if Cuphead was released today, like right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
if you released Cuphead today, right now, and then someone started the rumor online that it was AI generated, like I would believe it. I would
I
kind of
wouldn't
see it.
doubt it because of like, well, especially with the whole like Steamboat Willie becoming
Yeah. Yeah, especially with Steamboat Willie becoming like open.
public use.
I don't
I
know,
could
was it? Yeah.
100% imagine that
Because like a lot of
being the
the
case.
art style of Cuphead, which by the way, Cuphead's great. I haven't played it, but I've seen the
Oh,
gameplay.
that should
It
be a
looks,
game
it's
that we
amazing.
do.
We should definitely play that because there is a co-op mode for that. But nobody
I'll
has
be
any problems with
Mugman,
Cuphead, even though
Mugman and
it's
Cuphead.
yeah, nobody has any problems with Cuphead because I think well, the art style itself is like pretty much old school Disney animations, right?
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
think
the
it's.
a lot
Sorry,
of the
go ahead.
characters in there too are kind of pretty so I mean they just have like what was it it's not like super original designs, like they have dragons and like a sunflower, and oh actually there was one that was pretty close to an actual Disney thing. They had Tom and Jerry in it. You know,
Wait,
the cat and the
what?
mouse. They had a brown mouse, a boss
And a
fight where you
blue
would fight a
cat.
brown mouse and then a brown cat, a brown haired cat that looked kind of like Tom. So it was basically Tom and Jerry. They had heavy inspiration of Tom and Jerry. It wasn't Tom and Jerry, but it was basically you know a brown or gray cat and a brown mouse, right? So it was not Tom and Jerry, but you can very tell that it was inspired from Tom and Jerry. That boss
I
fight.
looked up Cuphead, Tom and Jerry, and the first thing I got was a deviant art post. So I think you're lying to me.
No, it's a definitely a boss
think
in there.
I think you're actually not telling me the truth, and you're lying, JD. I think you're a liar.
I don't know if I can see it if I can find an image of him.
No,
But,
I'm looking up Mouse Boss.
Oh,
What the
okay.
fuck is this mouse? Okay, I see what you're doing, what you're saying though, because it does like it certainly is a brown mouse and a blue cat.
Yeah, I mean, and Tom and Jerry was like a brown mouse, blue cat. It's different enough to the point where you know
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
it's not Tom and Jerry, but you know the whole boss fight with a cat and a mouse and they have the same colors and stuff and they kind of do the same things where the cat
Yeah.
eats the mouse. I mean, come on, it's
I will
there's some
say
things that are
this,
just not.
this mouse is very he's almost racist. I hate to
He
say
might
it, but
be.
he's
I don't
almost
know.
racist looking.
Racist looking.
I can't describe it, but when I look at him, I feel like I'm looking at one of those like horrible, like horribly racist sort of caricatures of like fucking like 19 like 50s like a cartoonist depiction of a Chinese person. Like
Is it because of the
I
eyes?
feel like this is almost illegal.
The eyes are a little beady, but I don't think it's. I think
I think
you're
it's
just terminally online. I think
think
you're
it's
actually
like
racist, and you don't. I think that you're
No,
racist and you just
it's
don't
certainly drawn
realize it.
better,
But
and like the cartoon definitely makes them look like normal eyes. But
mhm.
like the game, it's almost like kind of concerning.
Right, like okay, let's just take like Cuphead's design, like the main character's design. If you fed it through an AI generator, like make me just a character using the old school Disney design and make him a cup,
Oh,
and then they just take
100%.
Mickey Mouse's body and they put a Cuphead on it,
100%.
right? But
Yeah,
but I
that's
think it's fine. Like mixing and matching different things to make something new is fine in terms of an art like style if you're using the same art style. Um, so obviously no one has problems with Cuphead, right? So I think we're good on that part.
sorry, I
So
had to
yeah,
step away
I
for a
think it's
second.
mostly just the AI from Palworld that has people angry. I don't think that
I
they're I think less of the outrage is because of how
I
similar
do.
the art styles are.
I do.
Even though you don't play it,
No, I don't play it. Not a fan. Was never going to play it in the first place. I did not
yeah.
care for the concept of Pokemon with guns. If I'm being honest.
I mean, it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I saw a
I think
clip
I
from
would.
the Funhouse stream for it, and it looked very funny just because of how much they were struggling to like get it to work.
Yeah, I think they had. I think they did have like some server issues because of how many people were hopping on. Um. Anyway, though, what else?
Oh, I wanted to say something real quickly about the whole Cuphead conversation. I
Yeah.
feel like the reason we feel that for Cuphead, where
Mhm.
if we were to compare another thing that's copying that sort of art stylish idea,
Yeah.
Bendy and the Ink Machine, with their
Oh yeah.
characters
Right.
pre being made into monsters and they're just cartoon forms. I feel like why we would feel that for this rather than for something like Bendy is because the fact that they get the art style, like they get it down to a T
Yeah.
in Cuphead. It's perfectly accurate to the way that cartoons were drawn, the way that like the lines were, the characterization and just ideas. I feel like that's why we're so convinced that like if that came out today, it would be AI. Compared to if we were like
Because
Bendy would be AI.
it's so like perfectly replicated.
Yeah, it's literally replicating the art style of cartoons back in the day. The
Mhm.
same sort of like jitteriness, the thickness of certain lines, and like the kind of oily look that some of the stuff has and whatnot. It
It's
gets
even
it.
like
It's
the
perfect for it.
slightly grainy filter they put on it
Yeah.
too. That kind of makes it even more like
The
similar.
sound effects, the kind of like way that everything just kind of pops in a certain way,
Mhm.
and colors and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's doing exactly that of that time, and that's why we'd feel that so like accurately to be AI generated. I feel like
Oh, that's why you
yeah,
would think it would be AI generated if it came out today.
yeah, because of how accurate it is, we
Yeah.
would assume that it is AI generated because it would
Oh
just be
yeah, another
taking
thing about
the actual
Palworld.
images.
Palworld was in development for like some time, like probably like 3-4 years ish. And so I don't know if they really used like AI when it was like during that development process.
I
But I mean,
mean,
they could have. They could have.
to speak on that though, are we like not every game has all their assets done like years ago. Some of it gets done
Yeah.
like in the late stages and whatnot. Like some
Yeah.
like Hunt Down the Freeman, for example.
Well, I don't think Hunt Down the Freeman
Hunt Down the
is
Freeman had
quite
a
the as
200
similar to
poly.
Palworld as you think it might be.
Hunt Down the Freeman had a like 8 million polygon fucking grenade launcher in the game at one point, and they had to get rid of it because it was crashing the game because it was the most detailed thing in it.
Too many
You know,
polygons.
the developers were like, kept fucking talking to Sorkin. They're like,
Mhm.
stop, please, just let us make this stuff. He's like, no, use these assets I found. No,
Yeah.
trust me, the 8 million polygon grenade launcher is necessary. It's vital to the game.
Right. So
No, I
that's why.
didn't steal this.
Yeah. So
But yeah.
that's what that was my whole point of like
Mm-hmm.
um the whole like AI on the same art style kind of thing. It's hard for me to tell the difference between someone who's just inspired by that art style and uses it, and then also an AI generated version of it.
Like me with
So
FNAF,
yeah,
you like look at my art and you're look at FNAF and you're like,
yeah,
I
and I
can't tell what's real and
immediately
what
can tell
isn't.
that it's AI generated, and you're not actually drawing it on stream.
You look at my streams and you notice how for a lot of points in the streams I'll just like turn off the camera.
Yeah, that's how
You'll hear fiddling, and then I'll
I've
come
noticed
back
in
and
a
I'll
lot
have
of your
fully
streams that
rendered
you're
and
like
drawn picture.
oh man, I'll be right back, and then you put on like the still image of like the I'll be right back thing, and I'm like, what is he doing? He just he's just AI generating the next part of his stream like in the middle of it? Like what's he doing there?
Shit.
And then when you come back, it's just all of a sudden like there's some lines there that weren't there before, and like the design is just a little bit more fleshed out than I remember it being before the break.
You're looking at it and you're like, I don't remember this being hyper realistic. I thought you were a cartoonist, and I'm like, no.
It's like that meme of like how to draw a horse in like in 4 steps, and the first 3 steps is like this horribly drawn stick figure horse, and the 4th step is add a couple details, and it's just like this photorealistic horse.
Me with every single stream I do. Yeah, that's exactly it. I swear.
I've got a question for you, James.
Yeah, shoot.
Is AI generated stuff art? Would be considered art?
No.
Okay. So most artists don't think that the AI generated stuff is art.
Yeah, you would find most artists to say that. Yeah, especially digital artists, because it's been a fucking grind for digital artists to be recognized as like actual artists, because
they are not gonna have a fun time in like the next 10 years.
Fucking elegant and beautiful with like a drawing program, and it's like genuinely like a genuinely elegant and beautiful sort of thing. So I was like, oh my god, how long did it take you? And they're like, oh, like this many hours. And they're like, oh my god, what paints did you use? And they're like, oh, I use this program. They're like, oh, you're a digital artist, huh? Okay, like it takes the novelty away. It's like, fuck you.
Cringe.
This is literally Picasso's Starry Night.
This is literally AI generated. So, see ya, kid.
I'm sorry, but did you draw the Mona Lisa with the Twin Towers in it?
Wait a minute.
No.
This doesn't look like the Mona Lisa with the Twin Towers in it.
This is an AI generated Mona Lisa with the Twin Towers in it.
ChatGPT, print me out a picture with the Mona Lisa with the Twin Towers in the background.
ChatGPT, how would the Mona Lisa get out of the Twin Towers?
Oh my god. Yeah. So I think most artists wouldn't consider AI generated stuff art.
No.
In that case,
it's not doing anything. You aren't doing. Right. It's a whole thing of like with digital art, you are drawing it. At least with AI art, you aren't doing anything but putting in words. And then when you talk to people that are like AI artists, they go, it's actually a lot more complicated. You gotta know what the specific commands are and shit. And it's like, yeah, man, you typed good a few times.
Well, here's the thing, James. Would you consider photography art?
Yes.
But it's just a picture, right? Like you just take a picture.
But you're still doing something. You are still taking a picture of things. Photographers.
So taking a picture of something.
But in that sense, JD, that's like, and I did have this conversation with my fucking chat actually the other day. We got into a discussion about NFTs, and I was like, the original idea of NFTs was not bad. Then it got polluted, and then it just ended up becoming AI art stuff and shit, and it just got ruined. We actually did get into a discussion similar to this. I would say taking a photograph is art in the sense that you are doing something physically. You are still creating something. Even if you're just taking a picture of something like on the ground in a certain way, that's still art if it comes out looking good. You can set up shots. You can create things to take a picture of in a very fantastical way. Like you can make a full 3D diorama and take a picture of that.
Yeah.
And that's art because you were the photographer.
And I could spend time writing a really detailed prompt into ChatGPT.
Yeah, so and I can be fucking your mom. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we saying? Like, yeah, we can do these things. Are they going to happen? No.
I don't know if I would consider photography art.
I genuinely cannot agree with you. Because I've seen way too many like really amazing kind of beautiful photos be taken by people that are like, you can't like just draw or like just simply like draw that off the top of your head type thing. Like that is like in the like capturing a moment of something that's like kind of impossible type thing. I'd find that to be art. Yes.
Because like photography is just a like a still image of something real, right? Like a real life. In that sense, it's basically just a copy of it. Right.
I can't agree with you. It's
just a copy of something like, real.
Yeah, you film a movie. Is it art?
You don't consider movies art?
I do, but that's what I'm saying. Like by the way that you're like going about this, a movie is just a million still frames and whatnot.
I
Definitely
don't
more than a
consider
million.
movies art either.
But like, you are a fucking liar. There are genuine works of art in media, in cinema.
There probably are,
I
but I don't see
JD,
them.
the SWAT team's at your house, and I can call them off. It's your choice.
There was
Uh,
it's your choice. I have them. I have them. They're right outside your door. It's your choice.
Look out
I'm
your
just
window.
I'm
but
just the
warning
messenger.
you.
I'm just the messenger.
I'm just giving you a choice
I have
here.
to break your neck. I'm just the messenger.
I'm just letting you know it's a possibility. It's your choice,
There was
what
one thing I
happens.
heard from the art thing. Have you heard of an artist called her name Jackson Pollock, I think?
Yeah, Pollock. Yeah, I've heard about him.
Apparently his art goes for like a lot of money.
It
They
does.
can go for a lot of money. And when I saw it, I was like, man, this is like NFTs before NFTs were digitalized.
Yeah. Of
Because
course,
this to me it looks like garbage. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
it looks like I could
agree.
draw this thing in like 5 minutes. I take some paint, I go chew onto the canvas, and I can make exactly that.
I 100% agree. And an example I'd like to use is Andy Warhol, who is like one of the most famous modernist sort of artists.
Yeah.
He literally like took a picture of a Campbell's tomato soup can, then painted it in multiple colors. He took a picture of Marilyn Monroe and then painted it
But that's
in multiple
considered
colors.
art though, right? You would say most artists consider that art?
It's certainly I've talked about it. It's certainly a way of art, but like I think it's so simplistic in how much it's like he sold it for that he's not an artist in that sense. I think he just does it for money. And he chooses the simplest ways to do things, and he tries to make it seem like this avant-garde sort of arty.
It does seem like those kinds of arts are drawn are made to make money.
Like all you did, Andy Warhol, you sat down and ate a McDonald's cheeseburger with a bottle of ketchup for an hour, and you called it a movie.
Okay,
but that's not how a movie works.
But did you draw?
There's no story.
Did you draw a half-eaten McDonald's? Did you draw a half-eaten Big Mac from McDonald's with the Twin Towers in the background? Did you do that? I didn't think so.
That's the second shirt we make.
Half-eaten Big Mac.
A half-eaten Big Mac with the Twin Towers in the background.
What the? I mean,
so what does this have to do with the podcast?
I don't know. It's just a rant about how insane art can be. Art can be in quotations.
I don't.
Is it art? Is it more art if there's more effort put into it? So like if you don't put enough effort into it, it can't be art.
I think you can put not a lot of effort and something can still be art. But I think art is also passion that goes into something. And I think what Andy Warhol did was not passion. It was just him taking what was already something, painting it in its most simple form, remaking that simple painting multiple times in different colors, being like, look how artistic and how deconstructive it is. Look at how I've done this amazing thing. And he just, there's no passion to it. He just does shit because he knows he was going to make money for it. He's a fucking
so
hack.
The intent matters.
Yes, intent matters, and I think even with AI, even if you have the intent of it being beautiful, it's still you stealing somebody else's stuff. No matter what, at the end of the day, you are still stealing somebody else's thing. Take the stealing of other people's art, make it something that's 100% original creations, which you can't do because it's fucking AI.
100% original creations.
Yeah, if they were original creations and we're not stealing other people's works to create these things, I would be behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you just straight up fucking take like all these like little bits and pieces to create something from all these other people and none of them get anything for it, like you're taking this from all these people and they get what?
Screwed. They can cry about it. Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna shit?
They're getting fucked.
They're getting what you would say I got a question for you, James.
Come on, I want to send you. I want to send you the Andy Warhol stuff that I'm talking about, so you can understand why I'm like.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
No, he's not. He's not anything major.
Like, are you just gonna send me a picture of Campbell's soup? Is that what I'm gonna see here?
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, James, and I've already heard both sides of this topic. I'll send you. Oh my God, it is just a picture of Campbell's soup.
I'm not joking.
Sorry, it's a painting of Campbell's soup with different colors.
These are also magnets made from the painting, like
that looks good, man. How much is this? Just a
The
question.
magnets are $9.99.
And where can I get them at? Where can I get them at for a friend?
Amazon.com. But yeah, he's got like one with Mona Lisa. It's just, it's literally just recreating the same thing you made in different colors.
It does look like it looks like an NFT, doesn't it?
It genuinely,
did he make it into an
that's why
NFT?
I've never been a fan of NFTs, like with the idea that they are now. Ever since I
Mm-hmm.
learned about them, that's when they were that. I did not hear about them at first. I
Okay.
heard about them in the middle of it, and I'm like, God, that fucking
Oh,
sucks.
yeah,
That's
that's
why
the thing.
I heard about them when the monkeys came around.
The NFTs were not
Those
an original
fucking
idea.
monkeys.
They existed before, just not on the blockchain.
Yeah,
So anyway,
they existed before within Nazi artistics. That's not a joke. That's true, by the way. If you go into where do the Bored Ape Club monkey drawing, where that comes from, it's just, it came from Nazis.
okay. Well, I want to hear your stance on this thing.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion,
Mhm.
what is the difference between an AI that takes like a certain like a bunch of different art from the same art style and then generates something that's not like a copy of already existing art in that art style, and then someone who takes heavy inspiration from that art style and then makes like a painting or like a drawing in that art style?
It's the actual act of taking it, because it's let's use tracing as an example here.
Yeah.
If I trace something, I'm not really creating something. But if I look at something and I create it with my own idea, my own intent behind it, then yes, I've created something. It's not, truly original, but it's inspired by. What AI is doing is tracing, cutting off a little tiny piece of that tracing, and then tracing a million other things and putting it all together to make something big. You are still taking those bits and pieces. Even if it doesn't really look like the other thing, you still took those pieces to make that. The other guy is not tracing. They are not the one putting the paper on top of the original drawing, redrawing every line perfectly. They're taking the idea, they're looking at the thing, they're drawing it in their own style. Like that.
But let's say like the end result's the same. Is it?
Oh, if they
does that
both
still
make the
make a
same thing in the
difference,
end, then yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
let's take like Cuphead, right? Like the original Cuphead design. Let's say like that was made by AI that saw a bunch of old like Disney cartoons, and it took all like that art style, and they were like, okay, let's make a Mickey Mouse but with a Cuphead and minus the buttons. But he still has like the white gloves and the shoes and the red trunks. But instead of his head, he's just a cup. It's just a cup for a head. And then someone else, let's say there's a dude who's sitting there and he watches a bunch of old Disney cartoons and he's like, man, I kind of want to make like something based off that. And then he draws Cuphead and he just draws like the same thing. But in the end, they both are like the same image. Like what's the difference there?
Again, I would say it's the act of taking the actual thing, It's, again, AI does not, it has no original creation. It cannot create anything original in the sense, because it is only capable of taking from other people to create an image that is based on something. It cannot create like a wholly original idea. Like with this Cuphead thing, you are still using the base idea of the Mickey Mouse thing, and you're using all these other million little pieces. But let's say you wanted to create a brand new sort of superhero with nothing. It's nothing like any other superhero ever, and you're drawing it, and it's like very brand new original design. Yeah, it won't look like anything an AI could generate, because the AI could only generate like it. You use no inspiration from any other superhero before. You use all these little bits and pieces, and you and the AI, you go down the same sort of way of like, well, you can. Again, you can't, because you're not using any inspiration by anything ever. The AI has to use that inspiration by other things to create what it's trying to make. It's taking the inspiration from those things. By inspiration, I just mean like the idea, like the physical looks of things, the shapes, the way things that work, the eyes, like mouths and stuff. It physically takes that from billions upon billions of images and mushes them all together in one.
So you're saying that an AI has to have like reference points,
yes,
like actual original AI to create something.
That's why
that's true, by the way. Yeah, that is true.
That's why earlier I was saying, like, with AI, if it wasn't stealing stuff, I wouldn't mind it. but because it's AI, it cannot. It needs that reference. Otherwise, it can't work. It literally cannot create without the reference of things.
Okay. And well, I know this is like I know this was originally like a hypothetical thing, but like, so
the
AI
AI's
is
in the room with us right now, aren't they?
right. So the AI is
They're
bad
on the
because
call.
it has to take like the original art pieces and then put it like use that as reference point to create something that's not original, right?
This is in my opinion. I'm sure other artists will have either similar or different ways of explaining it, but in my opinion, yes.
Yeah. Then let's say there's like I think there are artists like this out there where like artists that can't make something original, right? They always use something as inspiration, or they always like draw something based off something else that they see, right? So like if there's only an artist that can, you know, that only draws stuff based off what they see, using like other arts as inspiration to make something, then would that be considered original? Or
No.
like, do you see
I feel like
would you say like that artist is just as bad as AI then, if they just
I'd say I am just as bad as AI because I create FNAF Transformers, which
you
are
could create
all...
something else, right? But
Yeah,
but you would
I
say
could
that
create
there
something
are a
wholly
lot of
original,
artists
but...
out there who don't make anything original, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
that,
you get
of
what I'm
course,
saying,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, like, here's a neat little example. I don't
Yeah.
think something like the show Ruby,
Yeah.
it's where's the inspiration from, you know? Like, there it's an anime, yeah, but like it's not based off any other kind of anime. It's its own thing in its own sort of world. I don't think you could get an AI to create that sort of thing
Mhm.
because, you know, they can't like make that concept, that idea. Something like Cuphead, they could create because it's based off of that sort of art style and whatnot.
Mhm.
You ask a huge thing to AI is how would this director make this thing, and then they'll make a little cutesy video of how did Wes Anderson make Star Wars, and it's like everything looks like it's in a Wes Anderson composition. You can't get it to create like a whole like something like Star Wars, which was a very original idea. Nothing was like it except maybe like a little bit like Star Trek. Like,
Star Wars, but Star Wars was based
yeah,
off something else. But it
yeah,
was,
the World War
but
II.
they just took like a different. They just had like they put a lot of their own like ideas into it too.
In a sense, yes. Like it's very obviously it's inspired by the politics and war of World War II. Uh, it's a space drama, which wasn't an original thought, but the way it was done was original. The techniques used to make it were original and cannot be replicated if you asked an AI to do it before it.
Mm-hmm.
But like people are some kind of stuck like that, and I would say they are kind of just as bad as an AI
You just call them
if
AI.
they if
That's
they
the insult, is you just call them AI.
yeah, I call you an NPC essentially, you
Oh yeah,
know.
that's right. That was it. You're an NPC.
I call you a Modley, whatever the fucking name of the sheep is. I forgot already. Uh, but no, yeah, like Andy Warhol could not create something create
Oh, so
something original and
you would put
creative.
Andy Warhol in that category?
Yeah, Picasso, Starry Night. Picasso's art has
No.
when
Picasso Starry Night. I look up every single night and I see exactly what he's talking about. It's just
woke up in a midnight dreary.
I looked at New York City pre 2000 when I see what he's talking about. So
But yeah, I think to compare real life, Andy Warhol
mhm.
took real things and then just painted them in the most simple modernist, as he always liked to call it, modernist sort of aesthetic. Picasso had no basis for his art style. It was his own, and you see it change over years, obviously. So it had no consistency,
Yeah,
other than the fact that it showed his torment of his like genuine schizophrenia and like insane. Actually, I don't think he had schizophrenia, but he was
there's
like
something else, wasn't it?
he had some sort of like physical madness that was plaguing his mind, which is why Starry Night looks the way it does. Why if you look at his self portraits, they
Uh-huh.
got so horrifying
It
by
got
the end of his
warped.
life. warped, very warped.
They were warped by AI generation.
Yeah. It's like Doctor Who. We gave Picasso AI
That's
generation.
the biggest
That's why
plot
his
twist.
stuff looks like
The
this.
biggest plot twist is Picasso is used AI to generate his portraits.
But it's like the biggest changes. It's like Starry Night is literally from his own brain. That's why it looks the way it does.
Yeah.
You could not get an AI to create that without it.
Yeah, it's like
You can get an
one in a
AI to
million.
create Andy Warhol stuff because Andy Warhol stuff is just a soup can.
Well,
in different
if you
colors.
send me the picture of the soup cans and you're like, this is AI generated, I'd be like, yeah, of course it is. It's just the same thing, but it's just different colors. It's super easy to generate something like that.
Exactly. And it's like it's not to say that like there isn't some sort of style to his artwork. It's just that there is nothing like original about the basis of them.
The style is just not original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's simplistic. It's taking only it's literally it's a cartoonist interpretation, like a comic sort of cartoonist interpretation of a soup can. Like you don't use every single little like etching to get into it. You use thick lines in certain areas and thin lines in certain areas. Then you borderline copy every detail that's on the label as it is in real life when you look at it. Like it's
yeah, I mean, I look at it and I see Campbell's soup can, but it's orange and dark blue instead of whatever the regular color is. I don't know what actually.
The one at the bottom middle.
Oh, the red and white.
I should have asked you to guess which one was the original color.
I don't know. I don't eat Campbell's soup, so
I don't eat Amble's.
I don't eat Amble's soup. When she cams on my bells.
Third shirt. Amble's soup.
When she Campbell's on my soup. So anyway.
She said my Campbell. When she pal my world.
When she pals on my world. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know,
beefing my stroganoff.
I don't think most people are gonna care too much about the whole thing, and that's just gonna be sad. All these digital artists, I'll put in quotations, to make you more angry. I say it in a condescending tone and put it in quotations. Digital artists, man, they're gonna have a lot of trouble in like the next 10 years ish.
Call me Goku because I'm literally in front of your door right now.
Because now every time I see you, I'm just gonna hop into your stream and be like, so how'd you what AI algorithm do you use to generate this one?
I'm gonna start.
And you'll be like,
I'm gonna literally just start sicking my my followers on you.
Yeah, Kiri's gonna knock. I'm gonna hear a knock on my door, and I open it up, and it's like, hey, I'm Kiri.
There's a Russian man standing at your door.
And then it becomes a mad scramble as I try to pull out the gun out of my jacket, and he's pulling out the gun out of his jacket so we can aim at each other and pull the trigger.
It's the fucking Kingsman fight scene in the church, but it's just two people.
It's just two people, and neither of us are trained to hold or fire guns, so we're just there's just a really messy like fumbling the gun, trying to kill each other.
Oh, anyway, I can't wait.
Yeah, you know, in my opinion, I doubt like a majority of artists can actually make like super original things, because like we all kind of just see stuff, and when we draw something, I think it's kind of hard to just ignore everything else and just focus on like a whole original drawing that's not based on anything.
But that's like a thing I'm saying is like, yeah, but you're not stealing. Like, you're not literally physically taking someone else's stuff. And
I think you are. You're storing it inside your mind. You're storing it inside the microchip that's called your brain.
Yeah, but JD, your brain is not a super reliable thing for when it comes to recollection most of the time. Like
that's true.
When you like think about something that you haven't thought about in a while, or like you try to reuse
like when I think of Campbell's soup, I don't picture anything because I haven't seen it before until
when I think of Campbell's soup, I thought it was named Amble's soup.
I mean, James, what do you think of the Twin Towers? Did you think of that Mona Lisa or the Picasso Starry Night?
No, I thought about the fact that actually there's three.
Yeah. When you looked at the Twin Towers, you thought there was three?
Yeah, me and Charlie Sheen are making a movie called Third Tower.
Okay, buddy, but you know, here's the thing, James. Everyone can remember things perfectly. You're just bad. It's a skill issue. Okay.
No.
Okay, you need to wake up. All right. The crash was your fault. Wake up.
I thought you were gonna say the crapshoot was your fault.
No, no. The crash. It was your fault. Wake up.
Oh, JD's dad came into the room.
Uh-oh.
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 Uh-oh. JD's dad said, "Is that gay man you're talking to again?" I have some opinions about him.
My dad came into my room and he's like, "Have you been playing Palworld again?"
JD, you've been playing Palworld. Have you
said-
caught the roaming merchant yet, JD? Did you know you could catch him in a
I said,
Pokeball?
no,
mean,
I
a
haven't.
Palball.
I haven't caught at least 3 humans in Palworld, which you're not supposed to do. And I also haven't used that exploit where you can capture bosses inside the towers. I didn't do that.
Tilted at the towers.
Tilted at the towers. There's 5 of them. I have played the game.
Me when I'm in the second tower. It's tilting at the towers. Oh, we have fun here.
You know, it's just a funny little thing. It gets a little dangerous, but that's okay.
By
I
the
mean,
way,
what's a little freedom without some dangerousness, huh?
I'll get into dangerous in a second. That would have been a good transition, but I want to tell you about a little joke idea I had for when we eventually do the power hour thing.
Yeah.
I thought a funny idea was if we never called them jokes, like how about another joke, Murray? We went, how about another jape, JD?
That's basically what it's gone to at this point.
I think you've told enough japes today.
We've
James.
just
What do you get?
we just replaced the word joke with jape
And Joker with poker.
because it's a funnier sounding word.
Can you do me a favor, JD? When you bring me out on stage, can you call me Hoker? Why
You
Hoker?
call me Hoker. Yeah, what
Why
a
Hoker?
real mature thing that we do. That whenever we make a typo, talking to each other, we just hold it over each other's heads for like 10 years. That's so
My
funny,
favorite
so
thing is-
mature.
My favorite thing is that when I
favorite
knew I
bit.
saw it. I knew I saw it too when I wrote it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be perfect. He's gonna
I
call
saw
me
it too, and I was
Hoker.
like, I gotta make fun of this guy before he edits it. It's just an impulse, James. Can't hold back.
I love it. Hoker 2, James, the Hokey Police.
Yeah, I loved
Hokey
Hoker
pokey.
and Hoker too. The Hoke down. All right. Well, sorry, my topic took up a really long time. Did you have
that's
anything you
fine.
wanted to talk about before?
I do. Just one moment. There is a dog screaming at my doorway.
Okay, I'll give you a moment. All right, moment's over. So what's that thing you want to talk about, James? Yeah. You say, look at this guy. He says, "Give me a moment," and then, well, how many moments have passed by now? Yeah, more than one. You know, if he said maybe give me several moments, I'd be like, okay. But no. You like this funny jape I'm doing? I'm just japing around. JDing around, as they say. I don't know if I have to cut this out. If it's not longer than 30 seconds, and I will not. It'll just be me rambling by myself. If you guys enjoyed, you should consider liking. Smash that like button.
Like a dragon. Now let's get some dangerousness going on, JD.
Like a dragon. Yeah, what about it? What's this
No,
dangerousness?
The ICJ, the International Court, something.
I thought, when you said ICJ, I thought of like a rapper or
ICP.
something.
The Insane
Yeah.
Clown Posse.
Yeah, so what about this international court?
The International Court of Justice. So a couple
Okay.
weeks ago, South Africa went to the court and was like, hey, Israel's committing a genocide. And the court was
Okay.
like, we'll think about that.
Yeah.
And so they pleaded their case, and Israel came in and they're like, we're a perfectly peaceful racist group. No, wait a minute, guys.
You remind me of that JonTron bit where he's like, and this is my sweatshop. Well, I mean, yeah, this is my sweatshop worker.
No, they genuinely did that. They had a slip
Of
of the
course they
tongue
did.
where they were like,
They had a
in
slip of
this,
the tongue.
they
They had a
did
Freudian slip.
a Freudian slip as they're trying to, as Israel's like trying to claim like, no, we're not committing a genocide in South Africa. It's like, you literally are. Israel goes, and what we're doing, it's like no other genocides. It's like
Yeah,
none of them.
it's an
It's
an
its
original
own kind
idea.
of genocide.
It's an original idea. It's
This
art.
is not an AI generated genocide.
Let me tell you, ICJ, this was not AI generated. No
Wait
generative
a
use
minute.
here. Now, wait a minute.
We're a perfectly peaceful racist group. I mean, wait a minute. No, that's taken from it's a very similar moment, but a guy during like I think he was trying to defend the KKK being in a town. He's like, we're a perfectly peaceful racist group, and then like the crowd starts laughing. And he turns around and he's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Perfectly peaceful racist group. We're a perfectly peaceful racist group.
Wait a minute, fellas. Let me finish first. The ICJ, the insane clown jury was like, we'll think about that. And they've been deliberating for weeks, and they finally came back, and it's been decided that it is plausible that a genocide is occurring.
What? No.
I know, right? It's kind of crazy that they said plausible and not, yeah, we agree. But
I think it's kind of crazy to say plausible when it's just there is no war in Bossing say. It's not plausible.
Exactly.
It's
Like
there is no
when
war.
people keep looking me in the eyes and going, there is a war in Gaza.
When people keep looking in your
Hamas
when
are the army.
When I look at you in the eyes with a big fake smile on my face and I say there is no war in Bossing say.
And then you look back at me and I'm that shoebill bird meme that I sent you.
When I look back at you and you're hitting me with that Kurt Angle stare.
When I need you.
When I when I head over there when I head over there and we do a podcast episode in person with us just sitting in chairs, the camera pointed at us, you can do that Kurt Angle stare at me. Or no, you can do your own James stare where you like you start like spazzing out your neck, like you strain your neck as you like look at me. Like
I was thinking I was kind of thinking as a thumbnail for the Level Up episode, I kind of wanted to get us out like on the streets. I don't know why, but it was like the idea of like us drinking like a beer or like smoking a cigarette while in our My Hero Academia costumes. Just like fucking
you can
like
crack
looking
open
very, like,
two.
groggy.
You can crack open two cold ones, and then I'll just like I'll have this bit where like I pick it up and I almost pretend to sip it, but then I get interrupted by something and I put it back down.
You
That
like
happens
go
like
to
multiple
sniff it every
times.
now and then, be like,
Yeah, so I like never actually drank it.
I was also thinking like just the idea of like you fucking like having a big piece, like I don't know, like a pizza from one of the food trucks or something, and I'm just like fucking downing a beer. I don't know. We'll figure out something, but I like the idea of doing that as a thumbnail. But yeah. So the ICJ decided that it was like very plausible that this is the case. There are two.
I'm surprised they
judges.
even made it to that point.
What was that?
I'm surprised they even made it to that point.
I know it was.
I thought they would just straight be like, no, there is no war in Bossing Say. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was what everybody's biggest concern was, that they might do that. And thankfully, only two judges tried to do that. JD, on all counts,
How many
one
judges
of them,
are there?
Let me look it up real quick.
Like 2 out of how many? Like 3? Yeah, you keep looking that up. Take 10 years to do it. While I put in my prompt into Chat GPT and I say,
JD,
yeah,
JD, 15.
JD. Oh, that's more than I thought there would be. I thought it would be
I thought
a bigger chunk of them that would do it. But two out of 15, that's not too bad.
2 out of 15, and
it's 2 though.
One of them said one of the judges, the Ugandan judge, by the way, because they're all from different areas.
I like Uganda.
Well,
it's a funny place.
It is funny because they said, no, there is no genocide on all counts. There is nothing wrong here. And then Israel said, actually, we only see 2 things that we disagree with what you said. Israel, the judge representing Israel, said there were only 2 things, whereas the judge representing Uganda said all of it.
Wow, that's
it's kind of crazy that the people committing the genocide didn't even disagree with it fully, but the people who, a completely different group of people who, by the way, are also horrible when you look into what they're currently doing.
No, I think they would like you over there. Actually, they would like me over there. They would like you over. We should go visit Uganda sometime. Maybe particularly next to one of their government offices.
This is my favorite thing that I hear from like people like a Zionist is like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you're gay. Go to Palestine. Okay.
You're gay? Not Giga Chad.
Exactly, like as if they aren't like horribly prejudiced and don't allow like gay marriage and shit. They're like, no, but we allow you to be gay in our country. We're just also going to call you, slurs for it.
We can also allow you to be dead in our country.
Exactly.
You're allowed to do it.
And then they point at like people like any fucking Arab nation. They're like, but they'd throw you from buildings.
See, all of these guys out here.
No, they wouldn't. They would treat me no different because guess what? They don't fucking know. Just like how people here would treat me no different because they don't fucking know. Like,
yeah. Well, if you never let them know, that's all right.
Yeah, only the fucking most mentally ill of them are going to try to
do shit. I think if you went over there, they would definitely think you're American, and I think that would change things.
But I would do what all the Americans, whenever they do Arab nation sort of scenes and movies, I'll just put my head in a headdress, and despite the fact that I still have horribly pale skin, they'll never know.
Oh, right.
I
just had the headdress.
Big fat white guy
if
walking around.
If you're playing the flute, and then maybe you have like some female vocalist next to you, like doing an opera song, and
Austin Power style.
Yeah, desert tune starts playing. They'll never know. Who's gonna know?
There's not enough of a yellow filter over my eyes.
They're not gonna know.
A knife is already in me. But no, it's crazy that like I always hear that, like the people being like, you'd die if you went to an Arab country and you were gay, and it's like, I've seen how you people in fucking Israel treated like a guy being openly gay. Like, and here's the thing. I mean,
it's simple.
As crazy as this is, I just want to say, as crazy as this is to say, Sacha Baron Cohen, who is a Zionist, surprisingly, well, not too surprisingly, the Borat guy.
I don't know, but I do know what he's done. Okay? I know what movies he's made.
He did a movie named Bruno, where he was playing the most openly gay man he probably ever has. And
I think I've heard of that, yeah.
He wore a very revealing clothing. It was a very gay sort of style, and he walked around fucking Israel. And they were chasing him down, fucking screaming after him. And I'm like, this guy still defends Israel.
Well, see,
I feel like he would be mocking Israel.
Well, no, it's because he also doesn't. What he's doing is he's like,
Yeah, he's like, no, this is funny because if it wasn't me doing it, being the one being chased, I would be the chaser.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was his first mistake, James. First of all, you never reveal it. Okay, then you're fine.
Mm-hmm. You always stay in the closet. Otherwise, there are no repercussions.
It's the safest place is in the closet. Just stay there as long as you're in those countries. When in Rome,
being trans isn't good for anybody because of the high suicide rate. Why is there a high suicide rate? We don't got to get into that. I think we should.
When in Rome, stay in the closet. Actually, in Rome, you could come out of the closet because there are a lot of gay people in Rome, but that's okay.
Actually, gays did not exist before 2000.
I'm pretty sure they were pretty gay in Rome. I'm not gonna lie. I think I heard something about that. No,
that was showing your dominance. Actually,
it was like that mentality where it's like, I'm so manly, I could kiss a dude and it wouldn't be gay.
Exactly. Like literally, it's like when people are like, it's actually not natural to be gay. You don't find it in nature with animals. Well, actually, you'll find in a lot of cases, animals are very gay. They'll have gay relationships. They'll enact on gay sex and whatnot. And they'll be like, it's actually to show dominance. And it's like,
well actually, it's because
fuck off. No,
it's actually
you're actually
James,
fucking great.
James, you're right, James. Because as a straight person, I'm a human and not an animal. And you're a gay person. You're an animal.
It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. It's like, actually, humans aren't animals. We are, but okay.
No. I've hired. I can make original art. Okay, can animals do it? No.
I've seen
all they do is eat shit
at a wall.
They eat.
It's better than whatever you've made.
They throw shit at the wall, and it's not Campbell's soup. So I don't know what to tell you, James.
I'm sorry. I put a monkey in an Andy Warhol costume, and it made the Campbell's soup can.
I put the monkey in a Jackson Pollock cosplay, and he made the same kind of art. And then I sold that for over $3 million. What have you done with your life?
And then I realized Jackson Pollock was always just a monkey in a Jackson Pollock cosplay. There was no person before it.
Jackson Pollock was actually a chimpanzee. So
checkmate.
No, I think back in Rome they had like, what was it? Maybe I think it was like a thing where they thought women were so weak. So that's why they didn't want to elope with women. So they were just like, I just do it with a man. Like men are strong and cool and Giga Chad. So I just do it with men.
I also think they just didn't
I do
know
with the
what
boys.
being gay was. So
That's true.
they just didn't have a way to describe like, yeah, I like being in relationships with other men. And they were just like, actually, we just really find women to be horrible. And it's
And then like
okay.
And then like Socrates comes out and he's like, so I call this being gay. And everyone's like, what? No, ew. What the?
No.
I'm just kissing the boys goodnight. It's nothing. No, that's not gay, dude. I'm just kissing the boys goodnight. Like, maybe, yeah, okay. Like maybe okay. I put my penis inside his ass, but that's different, you know.
Socrates poking a Roman in the head. Gay.
Gay.
No.
Get out of my head. Ah!
Kira. Oh, no.
Yeah. But I mean, James here, well, argue this point then, huh? If so many people were gay in Rome, where are they now? That's right, James. You can't argue me.
That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing because you say that as if that's not an actual argument some people make.
You're right, James, because it's the argument I made.
JD
against you.
If we put 100,
James.
If we put 100 gay men on an island,
James.
If we put 100 gay men on an island and we left them there for 100 years and we came back,
it was
what
me.
we find? Skeletons.
It was me, James. I was the one arguing with you on TikTok.
I just want to ask, if we put 100 infertile men and women on an island and we came back, what would there be? Skeletons?
There'd be 200. No, there'd be 200 skeletons. 200. James, can you not even do simple math, James? Come on, it's 200 skeletons.
You're right. I got it wrong because I said 100 men and 100 women instead of 50 men and 50 women to keep the number the same. You got me. Okay, you're right.
That's right. You can't argue it. You lose. You lose no matter which route you take. Don't even take a route.
You're right. I'm straight now. I understand. You've completely reduced me to nothing.
Welcome to the boat. See, like now you can kiss with the homies because you're no longer gay.
You know what, sir? Now you get a bicep clap.
Okay, now you get a smack on the ass. Go get him, Tiger.
It's such insane arguments whenever I hear that. I forgot I just remembered what we were talking about because I opened up my phone and I saw the ICJ judges list. So yeah, it's been ruled plausible. So what this means is that there is nothing immediately that we're going to be seeing happen, but now it is becoming more publicly thought out that yes, what is happening in Gaza and in Palestine as a whole, because it's for some reason happening in the West Bank, despite the fact Israel keeps saying there's no Hamas in West Bank. We keep seeing it happening. Is it
the other way around?
What?
Israel? That's the other way around. Like Israel's saying there's Hamas in West Bank, or okay?
No, they are not. That's the crazy thing is that they're saying there isn't Hamas in West Bank, yet they still fire into the West Bank.
Okay.
My dogs are barking. But it's a weird, crazy thing, and I don't understand it. But it's like they are the ones saying that there are no Hamas there, yet they are still firing into there. And when you ask them why, they say, well, and they don't answer it.
Because it's cool. It's just funny to see fireworks go pew.
It's just a neat little thing that we do. We just have fun here.
There are no missiles in West Bank.
exactly. But no, it's such a crazy thing because like people, like even with that, people are still misunderstanding what's being said, and so they're going,
it is a different language. I mean, it can be lost in translation.
Yeah, they're here because they didn't say that there is no like ceasefire. They didn't say there is no genocide. They said it's plausible for one. How people that are pro-Israel taking it are saying, yes, this is not genocide. Let's continue.
Let's continue.
Like, no, that's not what was said. It was ruled majorly plausible. And that means that more is going to go into it. There's going to be more of an investigation. And so what the best case scenario could have been was a ceasefire, which it can still happen. It's probably going to take more time now.
Well, why don't you go there and tell them to ceasefire? Just tell it. Just go there and tell Israel, man. Just stop it.
Because you literally
stop it. Why are you?
This is the thing that drives me insane. Is
not insane,
people are like, if you just wanted to help, why not go there? And it's like you physically cannot go into Gaza.
That's the best.
Because Israel has the borders closed and have these people trapped in a giant box opened up to the ocean, and if you tried to go that way, you would be shot by
That's
Israel.
That's my favorite line of logic. Why aren't you helping them? Why are you just filming
Right.
it? Why aren't you just talking?
Right.
Why are you helping them? Yeah, okay.
Like I don't know, insurance purposes, this person might need this footage to help them, or it's also like when in this case scenario, it's like because there's literally no other way. You cannot
Yeah.
physically go there to help them. The people that did are in fucking like hundreds of thousands of trucks sitting outside of Gaza in
Well,
a
James,
huge
I
fucking
mean,
line waiting to
you
go
can-
in,
you can
and they are being
try.
fired upon for some reason.
I mean, you can try, James, but you just might die. Probably.
They'd kill people like you.
Well, I mean, they would kill anyone trying to get into Gaza.
as
but
if it's like insane to me because it's like, so what? Gay people don't exist in Palestine? Like, what do you mean?
of course, they exist. They
Like
just
they're
just not
there's
open
literally a
about it.
whole app made for gay people to connect across the world in like a secret way so that they don't feel like isolated.
Oh my God,
It
they're
doesn't-
using the illegal dark web now.
No, it's an app on the phone, but
just
it's
an
like
app.
it's like when Gaza first started getting hit, popping up
Mm-hmm.
constantly, where people were talking about how like a person they loved and they'd been loving in secret because like they didn't want to be public about it, they were just gone and dead, and it was like I'll never have the chance to tell them that I love them, and I will always feel sad about that. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, people just ignored like this, like the literal confessions of the people there. It's like they were popping up over and over and over again because it was like it pops up and here's a message of a person from this area, and it's like all over Gaza that shit was popping up, and it's like they fucking exist there because guess what? They exist everywhere. It's not an America only thing.
Mhm.
Like gay people exist everywhere.
Contraire, James. Contraire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
do they exist
don't
in the middle of
exist
the Pacific?
publicly.
Do they exist in the middle of the Antarctic? I don't think so, James.
Yeah, JD.
Checkmate. Checkmate,
JD.
atheists.
Abominable snowmen. They exist in
Abob-
Bermuda Triangle? Yeah,
The
magic.
abominable.
Magic gays.
Obviously, the gate to Narnia is there. So
Fucking newbie over here. Wow. Okay.
okay, bro doesn't know where the gate to Narnia is. All right.
Bro's gaydars off.
Uh,
Yeah, no, it's always crazy to me with that
yeah.
sort of
So you know,
situation. It's
watch
like,
out! Watch out, Israel. The ICJ is on you now.
the insane clown jury is on
Watch out.
you. You're literally saying insane clown posse lyrics without meaning it. Watch out, we're everywhere around you. In your mind.
Watch out. I'm lurking and I'm always behind you.
That guy always creeps me out. Like he makes videos like that all the time, and he says he says the baby girl thing in those videos because that was his catchphrase on the show Criminal Minds, and I don't know why
really?
it was.
Well, I mean, it's just because he's a ladies' man. You know, women love that.
By ladies man, you mean the one woman he had a relationship with the whole show.
Hey man,
And he kept calling her baby girl despite the fact she was in her mid-40s.
you know, one woman, multiple women. I mean, hey, come on now. You know, you can be a late 40s old woman and still be called baby girl.
Oh, I saw this fucking my dad was getting a haircut today, so I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for him to finish. And
Yeah.
so while doing that, I was listening to a TikTok live of these pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel people have a discussion. And the guy was like, I mean, not the guy, but like the pro-Israel people were not understanding why they were being called racist. Because
yeah,
the people on the pro-Palestine side were two of them were black, so they were having a discussion, and every time they were talking, the pro-Israel people would unmute their mics and start like screaming over them, but they would not do it for when the white people that were supporting Palestine were talking. And so like the person called them out. They were like, so why do you keep doing that for us but not for the other? Like, you let them finish but not us.
Oh, you know,
And
it's
they're
just-
like, no, it's because you're just so aggressive. And they're like, here's the thing. They always say that you're so aggressive thing, but the person they're saying it to is like super soft spoken and talked very calmly the whole time.
well, you know,
it's like,
James,
I've
I
seen
haven't
her in
seen it,
other
so I can't
lives.
corroborate this thing. I mean,
I know, I know. It's me retelling it to you, but it's
I
it's
didn't say that the human memory can get things wrong all the time. It was you that said it, not me.
right, but I was also not referring to stuff that you just saw. I was referring to things that you think about over periods of time, longer than a couple hours ago.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Well, I know that
Yeah,
you might not realize it, but your memory it's starting to get that
Actually,
low.
Your brain's broken. But no, it's
Yeah, continue.
they were like getting called racist, and they're like, okay, well you're anti-Semitic, and they're like, what do
Got
you
him.
mean?
Got him.
They're like, got him, and they're like, okay, how have we been anti-Semitic? And they're like, oh, you're against Israel, and they're like, Israel's not a Jewish like nation; it's a Zionist, which is
Oh,
not, which is not Semitic.
what
They're
you
very
said.
clearly not Semitic. The
buddy.
Palestinians, however, are Semites, and they're like, no, you see, you don't get it. You're the evil one. Like they kept
James, I
trying
mean,
to like twist it. It's like, no, it's you, and they're like, no.
James, I mean, how can you call someone Semitic when you're not even Semitic yourself? It's just a culture difference, James.
You're right. I gotta stop calling you white.
that defeated like low growl of you're right.
You're right. You're right, Yugi.
It should have been
Why
me,
should-
not him. It'd be funny if you were watching one of those TikTok lives of that pro Israel, pro Palestinian, and then you see me on there on the pro Israel side. Would you think I would be serious if you actually saw me there?
No.
Would you think I got on there as to immediately start clowning on people?
I'd really find it funny if you got to like the point that you had like followers and you had like 1,000 followers, so you could like do the face cam thing, and like you turn on your camera and you like look into it like at the camera, so you're looking towards the audience. And your mic's muted, but you start mouthing words, and it's like you're like, "Hi, James," just knowing I'm watching.
Me on that debate. Me on that debate call, and I'm hitting everyone else with the Kurt Angle stare as they hit me with rational arguments as I call them racist.
People keep telling me irrational reasons why the Palestinians are dying, but for the joke, I have to keep pretending I don't care. Kurt Angle face.
Kurt Angle.
I have to ruin my career for the funny.
My career is being the funny and also ruining it. My career is about ruining my career. That is my career.
JD, if you cared
I
about
pull up my phone.
if your career so much, why don't you go over there and help it?
Because I don't career. Okay, I don't career.
When I
am a career, but I don't career.
I don't want to say it.
I have enough career to say, that's messed up, but not enough career to actually go over there.
I have enough career to say, damn, that's crazy, but not enough career to say it is what it is.
I have enough career to say, that's rough, buddy, but not enough career to take a bullet to the head. You should have just died. You should have taken a bullet to the head.
Yeah, like, yeah. Why don't you go over there and help? Yeah, because like the people of Israel are definitely not going to just shoot me because I'm a civilian. They don't have a habit of that or anything.
Like, look, it's a civilian. It's that meme of the what was it, like the big gun on like the Navy ship where it's like a civilian aircraft, and then it tracks it as it's flying through the air, and then
Is casual Israeli warship moment.
it's like civilian aircraft, and then it takes like a second, and it's like. And then it aims away. It starts drifting away, but it locks back on. Starts going.
Dude, that's such a funny video, but it's also horribly horrifying.
Yeah. Well, it's fine, James, because you don't fly on civilian aircrafts, right? You'll never get shot down by whatever that gun is called.
Yeah. The
probably.
Oh shit, I used to know the name.
I don't know the name.
And I know it's an anti-air weapon.
It's an anti-aircraft weapon.
It's an AA something gun.
I see.
It's now called synonymous.
Yeah, wow. Thanks for sharing your thing, James. Thanks for
I had just one more quick thing.
Okay.
So in Palestine, within the Gaza Strip, in the abandoned sections of it, the IDF, the Israel Defense Force, are blowing up buildings for some reason, and they're making TikToks out of it.
For clout. They're doing it for clout.
Yeah,
it's like how Americans, like set themselves on fire, and then that's for clout. But instead, on the Israeli side, they just blow up buildings.
It's like how that couple shot
not their buildings.
It's how the wife shot the husband who was holding the dictionary in front of his chest to see how many books it would take to stop a bullet.
Yeah.
just like that, actually.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like eating a Tide Pod, but, you know, a little bit more explosive.
Jesus Christ.
It's for clout, James.
For clout. But I'm trying to see because I want to find the video of them blowing up the bill of that. Like it was like one of their first videos of it. So I'm trying to find it.
Do they have their own TikTok accounts, or is it just like a?
Yes, I have it all
Okay.
blocked though.
Oh, okay.
Because it is gross the shit they post.
I have no doubt about that, actually. Yeah.
I can't find the one that I saw most recently.
Mhm.
It might have gotten removed. A lot of these do have like age limit markers on them, like telling them like you can't watch this because of like the violent content.
Yeah.
So it can be the case that it did get removed. But basically, what the video is, it's like a bunch of IDF soldiers like on a hillside watching like a destroyed part of town and everything.
Mhm.
And then there's like a bunch of them filming. The cameras there, and then the building just blows up. Like it just fucking starts crumbling down. Like I think a 5-story building or something, an apartment
Yeah.
complex.
Yeah.
And it comes crumbling down, and then they all start like nodding their heads and cheering and clapping, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And then I find out a couple days later, 21, originally reported as 24, but as
Mhm.
per usual with anything involving Israel and casualty numbers, they don't know how to count except to make the number as high as they can, then take it down to what it actually is. So it makes it seem like, hey, it's actually worse than it is. So you can keep thinking that we're actually, the underdogs, when in reality we are one of the most well-funded armies killing civilians.
Yeah.
That my real life reaction whenever I remember Israel is one of the we fund Israel billions of dollars every year, and this is how they spend it. Yeah, so it's a video of them filming it, and then like a couple days later, I find out 21 of them died in an explosion when they were setting up to film another one of those videos.
Like the soldiers?
The soldiers,
They just kill themselves?
they killed
Doing it?
themselves because they like it's in some sort of I don't think they've released the information of how the explosion went off. They've just said like there's 17 confirmed. They've confirmed the identities of 17 of them. They've confirmed that 21 of them died.
Mm.
And the highest ranking member was a 24-year-old general.
Ooh. Successful,
No,
so successful
JD,
at such a young age.
Nope, because well, yes, technically, because you are forced to join at the age of 18, and you are very quickly ranked up through that army. But also, once you die, you go up a rank.
Oh, so he's no longer a general, or is he general after?
No, he is a general after he died because of that.
He was general
because he blew
post-mortem.
himself up.
I see.
Everybody goes up a rank when they
That
die.
sounded so wrong to me.
It does, doesn't it?
Where it's like, like in Israel, the Israel soldiers, they rank up after they blow themselves up. It's
Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, I don't know if you're right or not, but I'll just take it as your word.
That's true. Like,
It sounds so insane, and I kind of believe it. So,
but JD, you gotta remember, it's Israel. Everything's insane. They keep trying to say that the stuff that they're like,
I mean,
actually,
you know.
we invented this. They were there in 1948 at first. That's when they first arrived. The things they're saying they invented existed hundreds of years before they arrived.
I don't know,
They did
James.
not
I mean, you're
create
saying
falafel. They did not create hummus. They did not create shawarma. They created none of the foods, none of the culture, none of the songs. None of it belonged to them. It all existed
James,
before.
you're just ragging on Israel
I'm
over
taking
and
my
over again.
headphones I threw them.
You're ragging on Israel over and over again. But James, I know that you've never been there, so
My headphones are going to be broken one of these days because of how I throw
I'm
them
going to
off.
snap my headphones listening to you fake.
I've actually
listening to your fake contradictory takes to mine just to make me angry. It's going to snap. James, I'm just having a feeling that you just don't like Israel, so I don't know how much of this I can
that's the
take
thing.
as
I
face
very
value.
clearly, whenever I because I've talked about this with my sister, and she's like, "You gotta stop saying that." And I'm like saying Israel, and I'm like, but when I have these conversations, I don't want to have to say Israel government every time because it feels like I'm taking too long
I
to
think
get to
it's
the
just
point.
what you just
It's like when I
automatically
talk
assume
about
you're talking about the government.
When I talk about the U.S. being in other countries, I don't say the U.S. government or the U.S. military. I say the U.S.
You don't
that's
say
what I
like
mean.
you don't say like the common U.S. citizen.
Yeah, I don't say Tyler from fucking Utah
from fucking
I don't
Alamo,
mean I don't
Texas.
mean Joe who works at the local Albertsons.
I don't think Christy from fucking New Hampshire is gonna be like fucking committing all these horrid
I don't think
crimes. No, I
Melissa
think it's
from
the government.
HR is over there like shooting up all these
I don't
kids.
think JD from
Dropping. You see me like dox me in the middle of that bit.
I don't think James from
Well, here's the thing: if you dox yourself, it would also dox me. So
as we've discussed, we are in a 1 mile radius of each
we're in
other.
a what was it? What they call like a
what,
mutually
1,
assured
2
destruction.
miles? Yeah.
Mutually
We're 1 to
assured
2 miles of each
destruction.
other.
Mhm.
You find me, you'll find him. Don't worry.
I'm glad that that's out there now, fully out there, confirmed.
This is my dead man switch. When I'm found, you
No,
go
James,
too.
I actually do think you're talking about the regular Israeli citizen. Like, I actually do think you're talking about them.
I'm not, but I am talking about the insane influencers who keep making the videos of like, oh my god, I've been displaced from my home, and then they can go live in like another building. Whereas when like people in Gaza say I've been displaced, they have to go sit on a beach in the raining cold weather and die from starvation and like malnourishment because they don't have food. I can't eat my gluten-free bagels. I'm suffering.
They're pulling a Gwyneth Paltrow like, this is the lowest point of my life. I have to eat bread now.
Exactly. Like the people of Israel, like literally a couple miles away from a genocide, are like, oh my god, we had to evacuate.
Just say it, James. Just say that you hate Israeli babies. Like, just say it.
Just say that 50 Israeli babies were beheaded. Just say it.
Just say it.
They weren't.
Just,
but they were. They were.
Well, I'm just saying.
Up.
I mean,
we didn't AI generate those images.
I'm just saying, man. I see 50 Israeli babies without their heads. I mean, what else did happen to them, huh?
Yeah.
Like they got stabbed? No.
Can you give me the website?
Yeah, it's right here. It's Israeli.
Yeah, it's benshapiro.com.
It's called 50deadisraelibabies.com. Like, there it is.
That's genuinely what they've tried to do with this movie that they claim is 70 minutes, like 75 minutes of unedited Hamas footage of them killing Israeli people. They're like, it's at 75minutes.com. What? What do you mean?
This is a serious topic, James. You can't make like a funny, creative title for it. It's just got to be what it is, you know?
You're right. But also, it's not real. It was literally just the thing to try and outs like Palestine supporters because they tried to make an event and have Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, hosted. Sorry, Gal Greenstein.
Well, anyway,
I'm not finished yet.
Okay. I mean, this episode's running a bit long. Just so you know, I mean, not to be like.
I'm sorry. I had topics I wanted to get on. Somebody wanted to talk about Palworld and AI, and
I'm just saying
no,
it was that was interesting to me.
Tragedies in the world.
I feel like I could talk about things that I'm interested in on this podcast, which is mine.
Society.
All right, what else do you need? Talk about. I'm gonna turn on the lights.
You should just get up and leave. You just let me sit here and rant.
No, I'm still here.
You can hear him getting further away from the mic.
It'd be funny if you could hear me from like I'm like across the room now.
No, but this is a very crazy situation, and it's like people. It's showing a very clear incompetence sort of scale with not just like how young the soldiers are, especially for someone that's a general now. Like
I would be pretty worried if we had a U.S. general that was 24 years old.
Like we don't. Is the thing like that? Like I can't make that clear enough. We don't, because of how insane that is. That is such. They don't have enough experience to have a position that high. It's what's so crazy.
Well, it might just be a cultural difference, James, where
forced to serve the military at the age of 18.
James, it just might be a cultural difference where general is just a different,
from even younger age to think
different
that's
rank
not a bad
than
thing.
a U.S. general would be.
It's a good thing that you're a conscript. It's just so crazy to me because it's like they don't have to blow up any of these buildings. There's nothing within them.
Well, there's clout. You can get the clout, James. The clout's in these buildings.
Exactly.
You gotta
literally it's like the videos of them going into like the little like fucking boutiques or whatever they're called, bodegas, whatever. And it's like them just smashing shit inside.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no
it's
reason to
like
do it.
it's
There's
a
no
zoo.
reason for them to go into these residential houses and fucking claw through all the lingerie of women and start like picking on them and going like, ooh, like they're fucking like children or like cartoon characters.
You pick
Like
them up
there's
and they
no
go.
reason for them to do
They
this.
pick them. They go.
Yowza.
"Ugh."
Like no, it's like these are genuinely things they do, and they don't need to do them, but they do them, and it's like, how does Israel not think this is going to make them look incompetent?
Well, they pull a
Like,
Zoolander. Well, it's like they're doing it for the jape, you know, because it's like a Zoolander thing where like the files are in the computer and it's like the cloud is inside the building. So what they do is they just smash it, and they're like, I don't see it. It's not in there. Haha.
exactly.
And then you hit them with the punchline, you know.
Well, you see, Hamas is actually in this toilet.
Well, you see, it's a cultural
And that's
difference.
why I gotta
James.
take a shit in
It's a
it.
cultural difference where the humor is just like is different, you know.
Yeah, the humor of Israel, which is non-existent. Have you seen their videos, their attempts at humor?
Have they
Oh
had
my god, dude, they
their attempts at humor?
they
It's
have
just a
something
cultural
that I would
difference.
say is worse than anything I've seen SNL ever do, and they've done like some pretty unfunny fucking shit.
I don't know, James. I
It's-
think you just think it's unfunny, but I
No,
think I
JD, it's
bust
like
out.
it's
I
the
bust out
acting
laughing
is
on
so
it.
bad, and it's them going like it's like they can't even make a funny joke like
I'd be like,
colored hair
that guy was like,
liberals.
"Oh, good lord, I'm about to bust," but in the actual context of what bust means in that video,
Exactly.
which is busting out laughing.
It's their worst video is them doing one where it's like, we're liberals here in America and we have colored hair and we're gay. Urgh. And it's like, and then it's like, and we're so stupid that we don't know what 2 + 2 is. And they have like horribly thick, like fake Palestine, like, no, not Palestine, Israel accents. Like it's like Americans trying to do an Israeli accent. It's so weird.
It's
I don't know what it is.
It's them
but it's definitely
faking
not their
Americans
normal
faking
accents.
an Israeli accent.
Yes, that's what it sounds like, because it's like this is not what an Israeli accent sounds like.
I know it is.
You're right, actually, they all sound that bad.
Sure.
No, it's them doing this, and it's two of them. They have like on the same bob wig haircut that they got from Party City of like colored hair, and they're like, "We're the liberals here outside of a college in America."
You, James. See,
Me.
I know why you don't think
I
it's
go to
funny. It's
college,
because it's
and I have
you.
colored hair.
Because you.
And then
Yeah,
then it's
your
like,
hair is colored white, but that's just because of how old you are.
You know, I actually do want to color my hair white.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You were never gonna get the whole. Wow, you're younger than you look. Then,
I don't think I ever
right? Or
wanted
you'll
to in the
always get
first
that.
place.
I meant. You'll always get that saying. You won't. You'll never get
I
the
know.
opposite of that saying.
I gotta go full and embrace it. Start deepening the lines in my face, graying
Yeah.
my hair.
Yeah, like
Um,
just get out there, have the sun beat on your face all the time, so you can get like skin damage faster, and like have crow's nests, like
just stand
crow's
at the
nests
top
on
of,
top of
of
crow's
our
nest.
stand at the top of our mountain and just fucking T-pose. So
Yeah.
it cooks me. No, but they're like, we're Americans and we're liberals outside of a college protesting, saying, "Oh, go Palestine!" And here's one of the average Palestinians, and then it's a terrorist. It's just straight up like a person in the most like cartoonish terrorist outfit, like,
Yeah.
death to you. I'd kill you. I'd murder, and that's all he says the entire time. And it's like, waiting for the funny, waiting for
That's right
a
there.
joke.
Well, I mean,
And
James, the whole that when you said that, like, I'll kill you. I mean, there's someone else that reminds me that reminds me of, that would say that to me a lot.
Yeah, but
James,
JD, I say it in a funny way.
You say it in a way where you won't actually do it, but
I say it in a way where I will. I'm literally behind you.
it's your choice. It's your choice.
It's your choice. I'm just letting you know they're at the door.
I'm just the messenger.
I'm just a guy giving you a phone call, little heads up before anything goes down, just in case you want to change your mind. They're there right now, waiting on the word to go in and get you. But it's like up to you, But no, it's like so horribly unfunny and just like badly paced. And it's like there's no joke to the Muslim guy other than him being like, I speak with this accent and I say death to you because you're gay. Like I'm vampire. And it's like, what's where's the joke? It's just you're doing the same,
That
like
is
you
the
saying the
joke. It's
same
just-
words.
It's a funny parody of reality.
It's like every time
and
I've
it's
seen the
just there.
David S. Pumpkins SNL sketch,
Mhm.
what I find funny is the two skeletons that make no sense to the joke. It's nothing about Tom Hanks going, "I'm David S. Pumpkins, man. That's just my thing." Like I don't think that's funny. I think it's annoying, and they've done way too much with it. It was everywhere for a moment, and I don't know why. The skeletons were funny because it was just two skeletons that were just then randomly showed up once and were gone and then showed up again. And it's like, so are the skeletons part of it? And it's like, I don't know, man. Like the guys like didn't even know. And I was like, that's funny. Him just saying I'm David S. Pumpkins every time is not what's funny though. It's there's no joke.
That sounds kind of funny to me.
I don't know, Jay. You don't have a good sense of humor. We've learned.
You don't think we have good senses of humor?
You think we have a good sense of humor? I don't know, JD. Do we?
Okay, well, all right, buddy. You want?
I don't know. According to Kiri, we're pretty funny, but I think he was lying to us.
I think you still do. I think part of you still thinks that there was a hint of sarcasm in there where he didn't actually mean what he said. I think I definitely think that's in your mind, living rent free.
The other day, he did it again while I was like making jokes on the stream, and he's like, "I'm actually cracking up. This is so funny." And I kind of paused for a moment, just staring at the comment.
Is it because you're not the kind of guy that when you laugh at something, you'll type, I'm actually laughing at this, lol?
No, it's because I don't think I say funny things. I don't think I'm being funny. I don't think I've made like good jokes that would make people laugh. And so when he says that, like I feel like I'm Harry Osborn in Spider-Man fucking 3, staring from the balcony down at Peter.
You're feeling like Kurt Angle when he sees all his own memes and he's like, why are they making fun of me?
Are they making fun of me? No,
Are they
Kurt,
making fun of me?
you're
No,
the
Kurt,
realistic person.
you're
They're
funny.
relating to you.
You're funny. You're being used as a relatable vessel. You were the one who's everyone relating to.
You're not the joke. The joke is that you think what the joke is pretty fucking insane.
Yeah. See, like we're lolling and lamowing with you.
When I need you.
When she LOs on my L's.
When she on my fouls.
When she lamaus on my lulls. So anyway,
she ruffles my copter.
If you enjoyed this episode, you should subscribe. You can catch us every Sunday, and I have to immediately edit this and upload it because somebody couldn't do it yesterday, even though they said they could do it yesterday.
I'm sorry. Somebody wasn't expecting to spend half a day cleaning an office place that was so fucking dirty. I think I've contracted some sort of mold in my lungs, and then I had to spend the second part of the day
James.
driving a road
Everybody
at
wants to hear you complaining about your mediocre life. I'm taking off my headphones. If you enjoyed, you should subscribe every Sunday. If you like James, you can find him in the descriptions below. That would be it for me. James, bring us out.
So, the insane clown jury is